There's a cruise ship out there. That's weird. I think that's the Disney one that's been here in the harbor for several weeks. I wonder why they took it out just offshore. It's a beautiful day to take the bike out today. 74 degrees and clear and just absolutely perfect. I see a low tide, some dudes walking their kayak out there. So I'm not doing 30 miles today, I'll tell you that, but I'm gonna shoot for 20. Three of them. Hey, I'm actually using my office. That was a hell of a ride. I'll fill you in on that more later. I'll show you the dad stats. So I'm playing Nerd, and we did it. Remember, like a year or two ago, I was complaining about how I had to repartition this hard drive. This is a 4 terabyte Lacey that I bought back. It's been 4 or 5 years probably. I should look that up. It's the Quadra D2 Thunderbolt, I think. It's got the Thunderbolt out, and it says USB 3.0, but that looks like the old printer terminal and on-off switch, a power cable, and a Kensington lock. And this has been a fantastic hard drive. The problem with it is, of course, what happens to all hard drives as a vlogger. If I go to, where is it? This partition here, and look down here, we only have 137 gigabytes available. Now that's a while, that would last a while, but if we look at under videos, just 2020 alone, and we're only 5 months in here, we're at 104 gigs. So it would be before the end of the calendar year that I would run out. So I'm taking this opportunity of quarantine that I can sit in here and play with partition maps to move on and to get a larger drive. So there's 2 partitions on this drive. It's a 4 terabyte hard drive. 3 of them go to data storage. 1 of them goes to Time Machine. And as we can see, YouTube videos alone, I've created 2.75 terabytes of YouTube videos on that drive. Wow, that's a lot of dumb content. So a 1 terabyte Time Machine partition gives me about 4 to 5 months worth of backups. I'd like a little bit more than that. So this thing is an 8 terabyte hard drive, and that's stupid. I never in a million years thought that I would need an 8 terabyte hard drive. I mean, that's just batshit. And it's the D2 Professional USB-C. So this is plugged into a Thunderbolt. Well, it's Thunderbolt into a $40 adapter to USB-C. Now I just plug in a direct USB-C cable. So that's cool. And if we go into the disk utility and take a look at the partition map here, and remember I had another problem years ago where I wanted to shrink. I had like 2 terabytes and 2 terabytes. I had 2 terabytes for backup and 2 terabytes for Time Machine, and I had to shrink my Time Machine and expand my data backup, and that bought me like a year or two, which was nice. It was worth doing, but I had them partitioned wrong, and I had to format the whole drive fresh and then start over, and that sucked. Because I did it backwards. So if I look at the 4 terabyte drive, it looks like this. The 3 terabyte partitions mounted first, and then at disk 2S3 is the Time Machine drive. So I kind of mimicked that, and the new 8 terabyte drive now has a total of 3 partitions. 6 terabytes for data backup, 1.95 terabytes for Time Machine, and then I did a 50 gig partition in exFAT, which is a universal format, at least right now, for Macs and PC. So if I want to use this thing as a big ass flash drive, I've got a 50 gig partition on there. Now I could delete that, and I think I have this set up the right way, where I could delete the exFAT 50 gig and either expand the Time Machine into it. I probably couldn't expand the data backup into it, but that's fine. I would expand the Time Machine. Then if I wanted to delete the Time Machine and shrink it, and then expand the data backup, I want the data backup to be mounted first, and it's at disk 3S1, I think. We can find out. It just says disk 3. Hold on, let's go to data backup and then the about. And it's at disk 3S2. I don't know what happens to S1. I'm not going to pretend I really know what I'm talking about here. But the next one's S3, and then exFAT is S5. So I think that's set up the right way. I'm not going to copy everything tonight or do a huge 400 gigabyte backup, but now my system over here is loaded up with hard drive partitions. I mean, there's 12 terabytes between that. This has a built-in single terabyte drive, which doesn't even sound impressive anymore. That's still batshit to me. My last Mac was 512 gig. I think this phone is 256 gig. I don't know how many megabytes this PC has in it. This is a lot of storage here. Now, it wouldn't be real JRSVlog here if we didn't get good and nerdy. So, Blackmagic disk speed test. Nate, you're laughing right now. You can't wait to see the difference. I know for a fact this one is a 7200 RPM disk. I would think this one is too. I don't know. It's definitely older. I will do the data backup partition on each. They're both formatted in macOS Extended journaled. And let's just do a gigabyte stress test. Select target drive. Caches. Let's just come over here to the Lacy 3 terabyte, which is my data backup partition, and we'll see what it does. It's not doing a Time Machine backup right now, it's purely idle. We'll click start, and compared to regular hard drives, it's pretty pitiful. We're right about 140 megabytes per second. So the read is about the same, a little bit quicker. Looks like 150 megs per second. Okay, we'll stop that. Let's switch drives. Select target drive to data backup, open. We're still at a gigabyte stress, and start. All right, it's better. It's not huge, but it's better. 215, 213, and 230-ish. So, hey, it's faster than the old one. And it's not a solid state drive, and no, you can't buy a solid state drive in 8 terabytes for less than $1,000. I checked. And because we can, and why the hell not, let's do the internal drive. Locations read only. Well, it did it before. Don't make me change it away from read only. I'm gonna have to, aren't I? Okay, hang on. All right, I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna keep it in 1 terabyte. That'll go quickly. Or 1 gigabyte. Yeah, 2.6 gigabits on a PCIe SSD. That's insane. So I said I was going to show you the dad stats. That was like 3 days ago, but I'm going to show you now 3 days later. I don't know why it stopped my one workout, and then I rode like a half a mile or a mile, and then I realized it wasn't recording it, so then I started another one. I said I wasn't going to do 30 miles. I ended up doing 31.4 miles. I don't know where that came from. It just felt good, and it was a perfect day, and I just looped Coronado 5 times. So if we look at the larger run here, it's the same shit I always do, but I cut over a little bit sooner, and I found a bunch more nice streets and beautiful homes in there. It was just a really good ride.